Hello everyone and welcome to a little update video. This is the first update video that we're ever going to do. This is a special sort of update video. The only reason why we're doing this is because this is the first update to what is going to be called Minecraft 1.7, and this is update 13W36A released by Dinnerbone, I believe this morning, right Indy?
Yes.
And so yeah, as you can see, I'm here with Indy today. And basically, we're just going to be showing some of our favorite features about this new snapshot. Now, I'm going to tell you now, we definitely did miss some things. We're definitely not going to show everything. We're not going to show all of the new terrain generation, things like that. I will talk about it a little bit, but we're not going to show everything. So if you want to see everything, I suggest that you make a new profile and enable this for yourself and check it out, or see another YouTuber's video that might have explained it more in depth. Okay, so now here, we're going to start. We're just going to go left to right.
Should we go with fish?
Yeah, well, no, we'll go left to right.
Yeah.
So, basically, here's the first thing. As you can see, sugarcane, it's the exact same, to my knowledge at least, but it has a new texture. It's slightly darker green. Before it was a lot lighter. Now it's this sort of darker light green. So, yeah. That's pretty much the only thing that I noticed about sugarcane, but it's something that we noticed about it. Now, this is a new thing. This is something that I'm pretty excited about. I really do like this, in fact, which is packed ice. Now, we're not sure about the crafting recipe for this yet. I don't believe there is one. There might be. We didn't do too much searching around, but we tried a few crafting recipes and they didn't work. Tell us in the comments if you find that there is one, but I'm pretty sure there isn't one right now. But this, basically, as you can see with all the torches around it, this is one of the first things that we actually added to this map, and it hasn't melted. Packed ice will not melt due to light or anything like that, unlike regular ice. So that's pretty good for things like that if you want to use it as decoration, things like that. I know I always had issues with it melting, right, Indy?
Yeah.
Yep. And so here, we'll move on to possibly one of my favorite parts about this update, which is all of the new flowers. And as you can see, here are the names of all of the flowers that you can see: lilac, double tall grass, large fern, rosebush, sunflower, all those things. And here's all of what they look like in the actual item frame, so you can see what they look like in your inventory. This is what they look like. These are all 2 blocks tall. Then we move into all of these. Now, these are all tulips here, and then some of these have some weird names. Here's an orchid, which I really do like, and there's the regular, oh, yeah, and
one thing to point out is yellow roses are now dandelions, and red roses are now poppy.
Well, the yellow flowers used to always be dandelions, but there's no actual rose anymore. There is a rose bush, which is this one.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they were always dandelions. But then these ones are now the poppy ones. They look pretty much exactly like a rose. They're changed a bit to look, I guess, more like high res. They look a lot better in my opinion, but that's how they pretty much were. And dandelions are exactly the same. So yeah, and that's the blue orchid. I really do like that a lot. That's this one right here. So
this is the allium. And the azure blute.
Yeah.
I think.
And then he said Dury here, but yeah, this is just a little quick. This is just a quick example, real quick, just to give you a taste of this new type of dirt block, and that's called. Correct me if I'm wrong in pronouncing this, but podzol, or whatever it is. But basically, just to show you, next to dirt, grass, and mycelium, it's just something that they added in. I don't really know what it does yet. If you know what it does, you can feel free to tell us in the comments, and I'd be happy to learn about that. But I have no idea what it does right now. I'm not sure if it's just something that they plan on changing in the future or what. But, yeah. And as you can see, actually, Indy's demonstrating something real quick. Indy, you want to explain what you're doing?
There's a new fall animation, so I'm just gonna go up here. So whenever I fall, you'll see that I have particles under my feet, like I'm actually stomping. That's changed.
Yep, and that's actually pretty cool. I like that. It makes it more realistic. Now, we're gonna skip the fish real quick. We're gonna go into something else real quick that I can show on screen. Then we're gonna have a little bit of fun with Indy with the fish, and then we're gonna talk about some terrain generation and a few other little things. But as you can see here, I just made a book, called it New Update, and then like a little happy face or whatever. Now, as you can see, I surrounded it with book and quills. Now, this is something that I've wanted for a little bit, but hasn't really been added. You can now actually make copies of these books legitimately in vanilla now. So on servers and things, you'd always have to make them, with commands using /more and things like that. But now you can actually make copies of it, and then you'll have 2 copies of the actual book, and they will stack. So you can make up to 8 copies of a book at a time by just surrounding the actual book in the crafting table. And you can do this multiple times. As you see here, I have 2 books in a stack, and I'm just surrounding them with 7 books right here, and it'll make the new 8 books plus then the one in the center. So now I have 9 of the new update books, and I'll put them back in the chest and just spread them out there. So yep, there you go. That's that. Stop jumping up and down. That animation's annoying. Okay.
Right.
So now here we're gonna talk about the fish real quick. Are you in survival, Indy?
Let me go.
Okay. So basically, we're going to talk about these new fish real quick. Don't tear them out of the frame yet. Put them back in the frame. Put it back in the frame. Okay. So let me just explain this real quick, and then you can do your little demonstration. So basically here, as you can see, something that we've been wanting for a long time, and something that I know Indy's been wanting for a long time, is the different types of fish that have now been added. And I'm happy with this as well, because now it's not that you're always catching the same fish when you go and go fishing in the game. So it's actually pretty nice. So now you can catch a raw fish, which was always the regular type of fish. You can catch a clownfish. You can catch a raw salmon, and you can also catch a pufferfish. Now, there's a cooked salmon. There's no cooked version of the clownfish. There's no cooked version of the pufferfish. And as always, there's the cooked fish. Then I'll move on to the enchantment books and the fishing rod after Indy shows you this. So, Indy, why don't you go ahead, and we all know what happens with raw fish and cooked fish. So why don't you eat the clownfish real quick?
So clownfish heals. It's kind of like a potato. It doesn't heal. It heals all the way to 1 full bar.
Yep. And then the raw salmon?
Raw salmon heals 1 bar, exactly.
One food point.
Yeah. The raw salmon does. Jeez. And then the cooked salmon.
Just like how the clownfish and raw salmon heal
3. And one thing also to notice is whenever you punch an item frame, instead of the item frame coming off, 2, just the item will come out now.
That's always been the case.
Oh, okay. and then the puffer fish. Now this heal. Now watch me carefully. You get poison 4 for a minute, hunger 3 for 20 seconds, and nausea 2 for 20 seconds.
And that's the puffer fish, and that's actually probably one of my favorite things. You can go back in the gym one about this update. To be honest with the fish, is that they actually made pufferfish very, very realistic. And since the pufferfish actually is poisonous if you don't remove the correct part of the pufferfish, and that's why many people don't eat it. It can be deadly, and it can poison you due to its, I guess it's like a venom sac. I don't know too much about it.
Venom sac.
But, yeah, so, I wouldn't suggest eating those, but Indy
They're
wanted
fun
to
to eat.
They're pretty fun, yeah. So here, right now, I'm just going to show you, don't pop them out of the item frames. I'm just going to show you real quick. Here's 2 enchant books, and they are Lure and Luck of the Sea. So as you can see, Luck of the Sea 3 is an enchant book here. I'm sure there's 1 and 2 as well, but in the creative inventory it gives you the highest one. So Luck of the Sea 3 and Lure 3. I'm not sure of the difference in between these 2. I haven't really done much testing. You can tell us in the comments again if you find out anything like that. I'd love to know. And here's your standard fishing rod. These 2 enchantments can now be applied to a fishing rod to give you, I guess, Luck of the Sea probably gives you a better chance of catching a fish every time that you throw it in, and Lure probably, I don't know, increases maybe the different amounts or different types of fish that you can get, like a lure, like you're specifically going for one type of fish. I'm not sure. I have no idea, but that's pretty much it. And you can see Indy's probably going to try and go fishing because he's just that kind of kid. What enchant do you have on it?
Lure and Luck of the Sea.
Lure and Luck of the Sea. So, as you can see, he's catching nothing because Indy sucked at fishing. And, I'm not going to wait for you, Indy. Alright, so, basically, that's pretty much those with fishing rods and things like that. Now, I'm just going to talk a little bit about terrain generation and things like that. But I'm gonna move away from Indy real quick. He might follow me, he might not. But here we have the way that oceans now work. Now, keep in mind, everything in this video I might not be saying correct. This is of my knowledge that I know currently, and I've only been messing around with the snapshot for a little tiny bit here, so I don't know too much about it yet. But I do know one thing, which is the fact that ocean biomes were made a lot smaller. Now, a lot of people always complain that ocean biomes were too freaking big,
Too small now.
and now they're pretty freaking small. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but this is just one of those oceans that you can see here. It continues a little bit off that way, but I'm not going to load it in that much. And yes, Indy mentioned there is gravel now at the bottom of the seabed when there used to only be dirt and sand. So now there is gravel spawning there as well. And here you can also see there is a new type of tree. Now, these are not trees that actually have like saplings. I don't know if they plan on adding saplings or what's going on with that. I have no idea. Indy, you should not have teleported to me because now I have no idea how we're gonna get back.
This is the biome. This is the.
But
biome.
oh yeah, this is that biome. But now this is the other biome, which is called what, Indy?
It is called
Covered.
The roofed forest.
The roofed forest. So these are these different types of trees. Do you know what these trees are called?
No.
I don't know what they're called. They use spruce logs. I have no idea, like, if they're actually going to be added in as saplings, like I said. In my opinion, they're kind of ugly. I don't really like it, but that's that. And they also have mixed in mushrooms now as well, instead of mushrooms only growing in the mushroom biomes. So I'm happy to see that, though, as well. Now, as you can see here, there's a bit of weird terrain generation. And one of those things about the terrain generation that you see here is obviously this is not a snow biome. This is not a winter biome, but you can see that there's snow here. And the reason why there's snow here is actually, if we go into F3 mode here, there's a higher elevation here. We're at, if you can see the top of this mountain, it's about 130. And that basically means that at higher elevations, snow will now spawn to make it more realistic. At the top of mountains, things like that, there will be those things added in. And as well, one of those things that you should also notice is that there will still be, I believe, snow biomes. I might be wrong with that. There might be snow biomes, but I'm going to get into that a little bit in a minute here. But snow biomes will now not be next to deserts, so they're actually kind of realistic. They won't just like be like a winter biome next to a desert biome anymore. That won't happen. So I like that quite a bit. It adds in that realistic factor. Now, as you can see, there's some really, really, really weird terrain spawning here as well. And that also has to do with the fact that there's now these things called super biomes. And super biomes basically give you these giant biomes that then contain smaller biomes within them. And that means that you could have, like, here's kind of like a piece of a snow biome with spruce trees in it, with then these sort of like rock plateaus, and then there's like a forest right there. But they're all part of one larger biome. And then there's like these mountainous biomes now as well. Now, as you saw before, there are new biomes. These are all sort of blending in together. So you'll see these, and they're pretty nice. Right now, actually, Dinnerbone mentioned that the transitions between biomes currently are really ugly. Even in his opinion, he said that they are really ugly, and so he wouldn't really recommend looking at them too much or anything like that. Like you can see, I'm pretty sure this is like a transfer here of like a tiny, these biomes are now really, really small. So the biomes that we're used to are now extremely tiny. Like you could see these huge plain biomes before, and now they're refined to just this little bit with forest, little tiny biomes mixed in, desert little biomes, mountainous biomes, things like that mixed in. And those are all sort of exciting in my opinion. Now you see these spruce trees popping up in these mountainous
Can I
plains
show you
biomes,
something over
ending
here?
up then in the snow as well. So yeah, what did you want to say?
Can I show you something?
Yeah, I'm here, dude.
So tall grass actually can spawn naturally, and I think it's only in plain biomes where you will see
Yeah.
tall grass.
Well, extra tall grass or whatever it's called.
Double tall grass.
Double tall grass. Yeah, double
Double.
tall grass.
Double kill.
As well, there is large ferns. And as you can see, there's these flowers spawning and things like that. I'm very happy to see that, considering that now it adds in sort of a new, nicer aesthetic to the world as well. And I think it just generally makes things pretty good. And now the last thing that I'm going to actually talk about here while we're in game, we're just going to stand right here. The last thing that I'm going to actually talk about is I'm going to go into the menu. Now the game menu, as you can see here, it doesn't look like it's changed whatsoever, but it has changed quite a bit. In fact, achievements has also changed very little, but now you can see it's a little bit different. I believe the arrows are different, and also the icons are the same, but I'm not sure if some of the descriptions are the same. I'm not completely sure at all about that stuff, but I know that the arrows have changed, and as well, they're now these green arrows, things like that. The same achievements are here that I'm aware of. I don't really ever look at the achievements, so if those have changed, you can mention that to me. Indy, you're a dick. I was trying to show something off. Don't do that. Come on. So basically, that's the only thing about the achievements. Now, if I can actually do this without Indy trying to kill me, the actual one thing about the main options menu now is that you can see that it has gotten quite a few changes. One thing with that is that the difficulties are still obviously the same. FOV menu is still there. It is changed quite a bit of layout though. Now, music and sounds. This is possibly my favorite part of this update, and that main reason is because music and sound options now has a master volume. Now, this is something that people would say, oh yeah, well, you can just, turn off the sounds and it'll be completely fine. Well, this master volume changes everything to all of these settings to whatever volume here, as you all know by master volumes, but you can also toggle things like music, weather, so rain volume and stuff like that, enemy monsters like, the groaning of zombies and stuff like that, player volume next to hitting blocks, destroying things, blah, 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 jukebox and note blocks, so playing of sounds from those, blocks and the environment changes, I guess, or those, and then friendly animal sounds. So I do like that quite a bit. I don't think anything in the video settings has changed at all, so I'm just going to leave that alone. I don't think anything in language has changed. Resource packs did change, however, and these are your selected resource packs that you can have on. I don't know if this just means that you can have multiple resource packs now selected at the same time, but as well, available resource packs will be listed here, and so this is a changed sort of viewpoint, I guess, of that. Now, I'm just going to go through these as well. The snooper settings, I think, are exactly the same. They might have changed. I know that you can always disable snooper settings if you don't want them. I don't know if Mojang really uses that. That's a question for them, not for me. Multiplayer settings, I think, are exactly the same. Show cape on and off, I don't believe was ever there. So
It was there.
Was it there?
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess that's for the Minecon capes, if I'm correct. I think that's for the Minecon capes. I'm not sure, but
Or Optifine.
well, no, that's not for Optifine.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. That can't be for Optifine because Optifine's a mod. I don't think that's for Optifine. That would have to be something you'd have to change in the actual mod. But anyways, I might be wrong about that, but whatever. Controls has definitely changed. The actual menu for controls has changed quite a bit. I think it's more user-friendly as well. It's easier to reset and things like that. So whenever you touch it, you can reset it to something. If you accidentally change it to something that you don't want, you can easily do that. And as well, you can reset all of your keys to the default. Your sensitivities here, invert mouse, touchscreen mode off, things like that. Those were always there, but they changed quite a few things. Now, one thing that you'll see here is your sprint. It's defaultly set to left control, but as we all know, double tapping W will make you sprint. But now I'm going to show you real quick. Double tapping W still makes you sprint and everything, yeah, but as well, you could walk with just pressing W and holding it down. Everybody knows that. But now, if I just hold W and if I hold down Control, it will actually keep me sprinting. And so this can be good for things like if people have issues with their sprint bugging out and stuff like that.
Better sprint
But
for the
yeah, and then
win.
it's just like Better Sprint Mod. But basically, that's all I wanted to say about that. Now, the only other thing that I'm basically going to mention before I end off this video here is the super secret settings. But if you click on them, you can see here, there's actually nothing that happens. Now, Indy and I believe that this is sort of like a Mojang troll, right?
Yeah.
But we're not necessarily sure on what's going on with that. I don't know if it was a troll. That would be my guess that it was a troll. But maybe it's that they wanted to call it something else and that they're adding in more settings. I have no idea. Whatever you guys think it is, I don't know. That's always up to you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We hope that you like the new update and everything like that. I really do enjoy it, and I think it's going to be a good step towards the new biome generation and stuff like that. And actually, if you've seen our Instagram lately, I've been sort of posting a lot of pictures saying, like, we need new biomes and things like that. And I didn't know that a new snapshot was going to be coming out today with new biomes and things like that. I knew that new biomes were in progress, but I didn't know that there was going to be a new snapshot anytime soon. But I am happy to see it nonetheless. And we're just going to end off this video real quick. And you want to say bye, Indy?
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Speak.
Speak. Okay, and we'll see you guys next time. Oh, and as well, real quick, actually, before I really quickly say bye there, sorry, but this will be going up instead of Technic Thursdays, so don't expect a Technic Thursdays today. If you didn't see the update video last time, then you will then you can see it's after that. It's somewhere on the channel. You can see that, and that was an update video saying why we can't have Technic Thursdays. And we will be replacing Technic Thursdays with something else. So if you guys have any ideas on what you want it to be replaced with, then please tell us, and we'll take it as a suggestion, and we'll talk about updating our schedule in a video to come. But check out Hardcore Fridays. Will be posted tomorrow, and as well SCB Sundays coming up again. So we'll see you guys next time.